Hello and welcome back to Film Exaggeration. Well, guess it's finally time to get to this one. You know how sometimes I put polls on Twitter asking my followers to pick something for me to review? This led to me covering stuff like Norbit and Ego Trip. Well, one poll I put up asked them to pick a Rob Schneider movie to cover, and they picked Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo. That poll was posted on May 16th, 2022. Why did it take me so long? Well, you see, I hated Love at First Hiccup so much that I needed something funny bad to review, so I switched it out with The Perfect Man, and then I just forgot. In fact, if it wasn't for Spongy, I may have just forgot about it completely.
Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo.
Released in 1999, Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo is a movie, I guess, and the directorial debut of Mike Mitchell, who would end up having one of the most bizarrely inconsistent filmographies of all time, written by SNL alumni Rob Schneider, who of course stars in it, as well as Harris Goldberg, who before this did I'll Be Home for Christmas, and later did The Master of Disguise. When it was released, it got generally negative reviews from critics, though not as bad as I assumed, sitting at 23% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think the reception of this kinda got lumped in with the much more hated sequel. Box office wise, it did very well. It opened at number 3 behind Green Mile and Toy Story 2 in its 4th weekend, but ended up making about $93 million on a $17 million budget. So, as a man of my word, let's finally talk about it. This is Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo. You know, I think this is the first Happy Madison movie I've given a full review to. I've covered some in lists in the Worst Picture video back in 2020, but I can finally check off giving a full review to a Happy Madison movie that all internet critics who in any way talk about mad movies list that we all have. So our main character is of course Deuce Bigalow, played by Schneider, who works in an aquarium cleaning the tanks, naked, in front of children. Wow, I think that's a record. No character has even spoken yet and already a felony's been committed. They even toss him out nude, which, okay, not only can he sue, but anyone who sees him can. I will say, this part got a laugh. He goes to meet his friend Allison, played by Bree Turner.
I was thinking maybe later if you weren't doing it.
No,
I mean, when you're not working.
I don't think so.
Dude, she's like 14 years younger than you. He then tricks her into getting her boobs wet, so we're 2.5 minutes in and our lead was already shown himself to be a pervert twice. That's once a minute. He notices some good-looking rich guy living the life he obviously wants, and then there's a scene with him plunging while moans of them having sex are going on. It's almost funny. He's then attacked by a piranha.
What the hell are you doing?
There's a mongrel koi in there. It's the most dangerous of all goldfish.
No, the Ryukin is the most dangerous of all goldfish, responsible for at least 70 deaths a year. Not kidding, look it up. He meets that rich guy named Antoine, played by Oded Fair, who collects medieval weapons and rare fish. And again, I'll give credit to a solid joke.
Whoa, Chinese tailbar lionfish. He's a beaut. That's an $800 fish.
Try grand.
Well, then you overpaid.
And then, you know, we got a piss joke. So as you can guess, Antoine is a gigolo. He apparently is very good at it, but I still don't think he could possibly be better than Jack from Longshot. The next day he tells Deuce that his expensive lionfish is sick, and somehow he's able to diagnose what's wrong with it. If he's that good at being a fish doctor, why was he cleaning tanks? The fish will need care, but Antoine is going to Switzerland for business for 3 weeks, so he asks Deuce to watch him. Because I would trust a guy I just met to be alone in my house with all my expensive possessions?
You mess up anything in my apartment, I'll shove it up your ass.
Again, I'm pretty sure you can afford a nice fish doctor to watch after him for a few weeks. Ooh, I could be watching Big Fat Liar right now. Anyway, the next few minutes are mostly just him fucking around in his fancy house. I do love that that was considered a luxury TV in 1999. Even I on my salary have a bigger TV than that now. He also accidentally shows porn to a Girl Scout. What is it with this movie and having naked people in front of little kids? Oh, by the way, that's Schneider's daughter, Elle King, who would go on to have a pretty decent music career. Apparently they don't talk much anymore. Eventually, he accidentally sets fire to the place, honestly took longer than I thought, and destroys the fish tank. He's able to save all the fish, but it'll cost $6 grand to fix the aquarium, which is over $11,000 today.
I'm not trying to flip you over and do you dry here. Look, squat on it for a night, and let me know.
What the hell are you saying? Like, yeah, I know it's gay jokes, but even as far as gay jokes go, that was ungodly forced. That night, Deuce gets a call from one of Antoine's clients, who tells him to meet her at her house, which of course he does, dressing as a German, I guess. This horny woman wants him to speak dirty words to her. This scene could be funny, but it's so slow. Again, I have seen worse. Unfortunately, it's cut short by her dog. Probably saw Schneider's thoughts on vaccines and wanted to protect his owner. He does get $10 for his efforts though, and then immediately goes to spend it on drinks. Hey dude, remember your life is on the line here? Hi Norm Macdonald. He tries to flirt with a woman to get some more money, and while it appears to work at first, it turns out she's also a sex worker.
$10.
$500. No!
This movie does spark some joy. Wow, a Matrix parody. Wait a minute. Matrix came out in March of 99. This came out in December of 99. Okay, not only does that show how short this movie's production was, but this might be the first Matrix parody ever done in a movie. Guess that counts for something. She finds out this is Antoine's place and leaves, seemingly kinda freaked out. She tells her pimp TJ, played by Eddie Griffin. Man, if I had a nickel for every time Eddie Griffin played a pimp in something I reviewed, I would have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it hasn't happened more often.
Look at this proud fish. It's like a coyote. King of the jungle. And look at this mid-level fish here.
Don't you talk about Dory like that. I'll give credit that they do acknowledge this guy isn't Gigolo material, and they're gonna have to do a lot of work to make him actually viable as one. And by a lot of work, I mean they give him a haircut and wax his ass and balls. I take my credit back. His first client is Fluisa, an obese woman actually played by a man. This already hasn't aged well in several ways, but knowing what Schneider said about trans people, it seems even worse. Well, he pretends to be gay to get out of it, and instead they play board games. Alright, that's a little funny.
I can't do this anymore.
You must have a magical mangina. Huh? Mangina. It's a professional term we man-whores use to describe our he-pussy.
He-pussy? Are you talking about his dick or his ass? Oh, apparently Deuce's dad works in a fancy restaurant bathroom. That's just dropped on us. This actor was in Office Space the same year. The entire scene is accompanied by someone farting in one of the stalls.
Cologne?
No, thanks.
These women are looking for something more than just sex. They want romance.
What do you mean?
Well, it was like when I met your mom.
Well, he tells him to be more of a risk taker, and his next client is a very tall woman named Tina. I'm assuming this is what Bluey and Bingo's friend looks like. Anyway, rape.
Wait! Hey, I know what we can do! Ha! I got it! Oh, give me a second to think here!
Well, thankfully it doesn't go that far. Instead, he just massages her feet. Outside, he is stopped by an officer who wants to ask him about Antoine, but actually he just wants to be a gigolo himself.
There's nothing I can tell you.
Well, I think there is. What do you think of this? You think I can get anything for it? You know, money?
I don't know.
Yeah, you think I'm a loser, don't you?
If this guy thinks you're a loser, I take that as a compliment. Deuce goes to his next client, a woman named Ruth, played by Amy Poehler, who has Tourette's syndrome. And by Tourette's syndrome, I of course mean the kind that leads to involuntary angry swearing, because that's apparently the only kind of Tourette's Hollywood knows about.
It's okay. I mean, you get used to it. Ball sweat! Anus liquor!
So he gets the idea to take her to a baseball game. Okay, that's actually kind of a genius idea. The next client, named Kate, played by Arija Barankis, seems to be normal, but just wait until Purge night. Although she believes this is a blind date set up by her friends.
So space exploration is definitely out for you?
Definitely. I mean, more power to any woman who wants to be an astronaut. I just wouldn't do it. Frankly, I'd rather take it up the butt.
Your guess is as good as mine as the context of that scene. So they go out, and it's all sweet, but when he drops her off, he's accosted by that officer again.
Oh, yeah. You know anything about this? Look, you see that red spot over there?
Every character in this movie is a sex offender. Next client is Carol, a narcoleptic. It understands that as much as it does Tourette's syndrome. Yeah, this woman isn't a narcoleptic. She's a diabetic with severe low blood sugar. Through another Smash Mouth song, we get a montage of him going on dates with the same women and fixing up Antoine's place. Kate also has a blind friend. He introduces her to his dad and she doesn't even mind that he's a bathroom attendant. I'll admit, these two are kinda cute together, although I can already guess what's gonna happen. And it turns out there is something wrong with Kate. She has a prosthetic leg. Wow. This woman has trouble getting dates because of that? He doesn't mind though, and even quits so he can start dating her full time.
You were only supposed to go out with her one night, show her a good time, and then get the hell out of her life.
You know she's not normal. She's not like other girls.
Wow, you are awful friends. This fucking officer was put in this movie to pad it out so it could get above 80 minutes. You can't convince me otherwise. Well, her friends told Kate, and of course this upsets her just as I thought it would. And he starts taking jobs to get money outside of prostitution. How the hell is this all taking place in just 3 weeks?
I'm 1,500 short. Isn't there anything else you can do? Listen, I came all over the place. Down from $6 grand. This is a custom hand job.
Yeah, okay, Flirty Harry. Wait, was that Schneider's idea? He tries to do another job with an incredibly beautiful woman, but is too hung up on Kate. So instead, he does an exotic dance. It's about as funny as you expect. And it turns out that this woman is that officer's wife.
Son of a bitch is going down, and you're gonna join him!
Why are you angry at these two? It's your wife that's cheating. He's insecure because his dick is too thin, but Deuce gives him some advice.
If man whoring has taught me anything, it's that most women are as unhappy with their entire body as you are with your small penis. Thin penis. Women are worried about their height, their weight, their giant feet. If you make a woman feel good about herself, it really doesn't matter what's wrong with you.
Set in a movie that makes jokes out of women's appearances and quirks. So the two do a striptease for his wife, and while the two are cool now, he still needs to arrest TJ or else he'll lose his job. Anyway, it's a court movie now, but through a Jurassic Park reference. Rasputia, what are you doing here? Again, don't make fun of women for their imperfections. Also, is that TJ in whiteface? Or is it yellowface? It's kind of hard to tell. All the women he was hired to bang say that he never actually had sex with them, and the case is dismissed. That whole thing lasted about 3 minutes, probably to get this thing to an hour and a half, which it still couldn't. Deuce and Kate reconcile, and with help from his new friends, Deuce is able to fix up the apartment before Antoine gets home. This involves Tina doing a cavity search on him, but that blind roommate accidentally ends up killing the lionfish. So, was this music just everywhere at that time period? Don't worry, he easily gets another one of these incredibly rare fish at his usual supply shop, and gets it back just as Antoine arrives home.
How was your trip?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
What the hell is this?
Oh Christ, why is this still going? Antoine taps the glass, which destroys the aquarium. This could be played off as an accident, but Deuce just says that he did some gigoloing, and this causes... I don't know. Another Matrix parody, huh? It ends with Antoine getting arrested and the blind roommate regaining her sight. Don't ask how. There is no answer. And we end with text telling us what happened to all the characters. Okay, so being skinny was the happy ending. Again, don't judge based on looks. No, this was just dreadfully mediocre. I have seen far worse comedies in my life. I've seen more annoying comedies. I've seen comedies with more repugnant characters and morals. This movie is not good, but it is mostly just a dull, forgettable flick that I will not think about any time in the future. I chuckled more than the bare minimum and didn't completely hate myself while watching it, so take that for what it's worth. Well, I hope the 4-year wait was worth it. Maybe I'll do the sequel someday. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Don't be silly. You know what my dad does? He's an aeronautical engineer.